Hello everyone, it's Sam here again, and as you can see, or as you can hear by my voice, I'm still not fully recovered. Look, Sylvia and Lisa have pointed out to me that the video I attempted to do for part B of the Proforma didn't quite work out, and so here is my second attempt. Alright, so let's scroll down now from part A, which was covered in the previous video, to part B. And at part B, here we are, there are several headings. And just to remind you of what exactly a proforma is, a proforma is just a form, and it's a form providing you with headings, and you fill in the headings. So, for example, we've got the problem statement or definition of the research area. What you'll do is on your proforma, you'll start here. I'm going to hit return, and I'm going to write or type my problem statement or the definition of my research area. But just before I do, I think I'm going to go to the information document for assignment 1 just to see what it wants us to do. Okay, this is the information document here, and it says, okay, look, it says project title, but that's not part of the proforma. You can put a project title in if you want. The proforma wants, oh, here it is, one paragraph telling us what your inquiry, question, or problem is and what is the area of you're researching, okay? Related to environmental sustainability, of course. So what you do is, this is where you type in your one paragraph to explain to us what your research area is. Alright, then you're probably going to say to me, but what's a paragraph? Well, look, I can tell you a paragraph is certainly not 1 or 2 sentences. At a bare minimum, it would be 3 sentences. In terms of word count for this length of assignment, and a paragraph is probably between 200 and 250 words. More towards the 200, I would say, because really you're just defining what you're going to do. All right, now, also sometimes when you do what I've done and attempted to type after you've hit return, just here you might find that you've got the wrong sort of formatting. But what is the right sort of formatting, might you ask? Well, again, what we do is we go to the information document, and unfortunately, sorry, no, my mistake, the information document's not where you go. You go to the assessments resources folder. So I'll just hit pause for a second. Okay, well, here I am again after the pause, and what I want to draw your attention to is the FAQs for assignment 1, where you'll get answers to your questions about things like formatting. So let's just see if there's a question about formatting here. The question is, are there any font, size, and line space requirements for assignment 1? And the answer is, use Arial or Times New Roman 11 or 12 point, please, and use double spacing. Okay, so let's minimize this, and here we are again. What have I got here? I've got Times New Roman 12, so I'm on track. So that's it for the problem statement. Next is the rationale, and the rationale is where you explain to us your reasons or your justification for your topic choice. So I'll hit return, and before I write anything in here, I'll consult the assignment 1 information document to see what it says about the rationale. It wants 2 paragraphs here, and it also says in pretty pink that it's to be written in the third person, and I have addressed third person somewhere in this forum already. Alright, so it's 2 paragraphs. Minimizing this and moving back to, oh, here it is. Okay, so this is where you type your 2 paragraphs of justification in Times New Roman 11 or 12 or Arial 11 or 12 double spaced. Research questions. Well, look, let me tell you what research questions are. Here in the first paragraph, you have explained to us just what your problem area or research area is. And you might like to think of your inquiry in terms of a statement of probably a dozen words or so. Now, that is the overarching problem. In order to inquire into the overarching problem, you need to break that down into several questions, which we call research questions. And now you're going to ask me how many questions, and I'm pretty sure we want between 3 and 6. So that's a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6. This is the proposal, and we'll work out just how many you'll need or want after the proposal. But for now, it's just research questions 3 to 6. We'll double check that, shall we, from the information document. And it says at least 3 questions. There you go. All right, so let's go back here. Now, the research questions are not done in paragraph form. You list them. So I think we can do a numbered list. Yes, there we go. So this is where you would type in question 1. You see what I mean? This is not the formatting that we want. So we're going to change it to Times New Roman 12 to stay consistent with what I've got. Oh, it is Times New Roman 12. It's just bold, and we don't want it to be bold. Okay, and then we're going to, it doesn't want to give me automatic numbering. So we're going to do 2. Type in question 2, and I think you get the idea. Now listen, try not to use questions that we call yes-no questions. It's better to use questions that begin with how or what or where or why rather than is, okay? Is something such and such? The answer is going to be yes or no. Well, that's not an answer, and it's certainly not an answer that's going to give you information for your discussion and findings in assessment 3. The proposed methodology is what we move on to next, and what do they want here for the proposed methodology? Okay, describe in a few sentences, that's a paragraph, how you will investigate your inquiry. Consider what resources you will use to search for the answers. In other words, this is how will you go about answering your research questions, and you'll explain this to us in just a few sentences. This is a proposed methodology. Then you get feedback on it, and once you've got the feedback on it, you'll be able to do a full methodology for assignment 3 or assessment 3. More about that later on. Let's move on to the resource identification. And what does it tell us here? Okay, identify 3 resources, that's one thing. And for each one, briefly describe how each is relevant to your topic. Okay, so we want you to name the resource, and we want you to tell us or describe to us how each is relevant. Okay, so that would go here. All right, I won't type anything in there. And now we get to the references. And the references, you can see it says start a new page. It is an absolute must for you to start a new page. APA 6th edition referencing requires that referencing go entirely on its own page and not the preceding page. All right, look, I think I'm going to leave it there. A, because my voice is going, and B, you've probably had enough. Look, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it comes out as a video this time. Thank you again, Lisa and Sarah, and I wish you the best of luck and see you next time.